My name is Kavafian, and today I'd like to talk to you about how Bach notates his bass lines in all of his partitas and sonatas for violin. I'm going to talk about how Bach wrote his chords, and in a very special way that he's indicated that in the facsimile. I have actually drawn an example on this board. He has the bass line with the tail facing down, and the rest, the treble, facing up. Here's the second chord, same thing, tail facing down. Here's a third chord, again, tail facing down, treble up. I took that to mean something special. As we know, he wrote the music from the bass line. And in order to bring that out, a lot of people play it a certain way. I'm going to demonstrate how we hear it most of the time. So, most people break the chords 2 and 2. But seeing this in his facsimile, I felt that it's better to separate the bass from the treble. So the way I play it and the way I teach it is this way. So that's the opening. The chord starts with the bass line alone, then the treble, and again the second chord, the third chord. Finally, the very last chord, you have to land on where the treble is going. So, but so many times we hear, and that's not the place that it's going. So, separate the bass and land on the B flat where the phrase ends. Then, that's the tune, bass line, back to the tune. Bass line alone again. Just throughout this whole movement and every movement of Bach, I try to separate the bass line ever so slightly. If one does it too rhythmically, it sounds like he wrote a different rhythm. So you have to vary the way you do these bass lines. So therefore, the opening again. Long. Shorter. Medium. And long. Enlarge. Treble, bass, back to treble, separate the bass, so forth and so on. I could go through the whole thing, but it would take too long. That's one way of approaching, especially the slow movements, by really following Bach's writing. This is not my idea. I think it's Bach's idea. And by separating bass line from the treble, you're paying homage to the bass line without bringing it out altogether too much or too loudly, and still go to the treble where the tune actually lays.